Welcome to Postpartum. I did want to ask you a follow-up about your incontinence diaper pads. Yeah. So I used to buy those for my elderly clients when I was doing social work, and they got them for the reason that they're made, but I always thought that it would be difficult for them because they're you don't know, but I'll tell you they can't move around and get them. They needed help, like in their assisted living facilities. So being a new mom, both of you used them, being a new mom and having them, did you feel like it was difficult, like to bend over and to take them off and all that?
It was so much easier than a pad and easier than the mesh panties that they gave you at the hospital. At least
I thought those were awesome.
They were okay.
I liked the mesh panties too. I just did not like the pad.
Yeah. Because it was like a boat?
Yes. Well, it was a boat and it would move around, and I felt like it would leak onto the mesh panties a lot, and it was just a lot. Yeah. And just like the absorption wasn't my favorite, and it was uncomfortable. It would like one side of the pad would get like up my butt cheek, and then it was like it was just uncomfortable. So those ones were it was like the mesh pad almost, or the mesh panties almost, but with a pad built in. That's how I would explain it. It was so nice. And then you would just throw it all away at the end.
For me, I felt like the actual coverage of the band was really nice. It was there was a lot more coverage around the midsection, and it was very gentle. Like I can imagine, I mean, I didn't have a C-section, but I can imagine that it would be hard to wear something like panties or whatever, anything around your midsection. And it was very soft, elastic, but also I felt like it was going to hold to me, that it wasn't going to like roll down or anything like that. So that's what I appreciated the most about it. But yeah, also the coverage, I mean, there was no fear of leaking or anything like that, which was awesome.
With the mesh panty things, I like that they were kind of like shorts. I felt like with like panties or whatever, they kind of gave me a wedgie, but these I felt like the extra material, I guess, sort of held them down a little bit. But I also know what you're talking about with around my mids. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about with the I'll just call them Depends because there's different brands, but I did fear that the mesh would catch on the staples of my, and I was like petrified.
Yeah, because it kind of did have like at least with mine, kind of like a ruching. Like there were like there were firm.
It was
edges,
very
and then
stretchy.
It was kind of like this.
Yeah,
which is also what I liked about it too, because I felt like it would be versatile size wise. Because especially for me, someone my size, and after just being pregnant and still feeling pregnant, right? Like after you have the baby, you don't just like go back to normal. That I was like, no way a store-bought disposable thing is going to fit me comfortably. And they did. They totally did. And I wasn't even in the largest size available. They were very large, very small. Like,
did they have it by weight? Like, did they tell you?
No, it was just by like, it was like extra small, medium, large.
Oh, how do you know which size you are?
They do have a sizing chart. Yeah, they do have a sizing chart, like pants or something, pant sizing maybe.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah,
they were stretchy though too. I bought like a medium, and I think like I also could have fit in a large.
Okay.
So it's pretty flexible. Man, talking about this stuff though, it makes me realize that someday I'm gonna go through this again.
I know.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
So I was thinking about this sort of thing, not like postpartum stuff, but I mean, I was thinking about that concept just earlier today, and I was like, it just hit me how little I remembered. I mean, you think you remember stuff, right? Like, you might remember something in the past earlier in your life, and then you go to journal about it and you can't remember like anything to write down. You're like, it was good. And like, that's how I kind of feel about, I just sort of had this haze, and granted it was 18 months ago. So it makes sense. I mean, there's a lot that happens when you have a child, like emotionally and physically, and you're changing and your baby's changing, and there's a lot to remember, and you're being drained if you're nursing, and you're being drained if you're not nursing. Like there's always different ways, which stay tuned if you're listening to this for our Why Moms Are Tired episode later. We're still trying to figure that out, but yeah. And so I was like, I'll have to listen to to Pardon the Mess to see if Jess can remind me in the past episodes.
No, this is cool, though. This is so cool. This is another cool reason aspect because we get to document.
Yeah.
Someday I get to look back and be like, wow, that's where I was then, and here's where I am now, and it's so different. But
yeah,
I just like in some ways I don't think I remember, but in some ways talking about it, I really remember.
Yeah.
It's true. Well, and I journaled while I was pregnant, pretty consistently.
So good.
And now thinking back, being like, oh yeah, pregnancy wasn't that bad because I really don't remember anything horrible. And then like in preparation for my episode, I went back and I read my journal and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that my pelvis hurt so bad that I couldn't move and that I didn't get any sleep in the entire last trimester of my pregnancy. And like, I just forgotten all that stuff.
And but this time we're gonna have another kid to take care of.
I
know.
This is so unfair. Men should
Brittany,
take a turn.
That post about the 4-month regression, sleep regression that you tagged me in, which is so me, by the way. And then she mentioned the last thing being like, take naps whenever your baby is sleeping like all day, every day. And I'm like, I totally do that. But she has another kid to take care of, so she can't do that. I just, more power to her, man. Like, it's so there. Yeah, there's so many hard things. I can't imagine. I mean, I can imagine, and I probably will do it if we have another kid. But going through that postpartum recovery period while also taking care of a toddler.
I honestly think that we may have to hire help. Like we may have to hire someone to come and help us out with either housework or taking care of Emmett or both. I don't know, but I'm like, I was so dysfunctional.
Yeah, like you mean while you're pregnant? Hire somebody? Or after?
The third trimester and after.
Yeah.
The third and fourth trimester.
I don't, like, that's what I don't remember. I just feel like I was like, I would sleep and then I'd wake up exhausted and then I would feed Emmett and like try to eat something myself and then go back to sleep and then wake up exhausted again.
Yeah. So
it was all like 20 minutes at a time. It was just the cycle of sleeping for 20 minutes, then, it's a hard time. That's a hard time.
So as you guys know, we don't really do affiliate like links right now and stuff. But if we get enough followers and we start doing that, I'm thinking about looking into these meals I've seen, not like the HelloFresh ones, although those seem pretty great too. But I saw somebody who wasn't doing an affiliate thing. She was just talking about it. I can't remember what it was called. It was called like 1% or 0% or something like that. Anyway, it was a fly on my wall was talking about it. And they were like pre-made meals that you just microwave. And I always have this little bit, like, I'm not a snob about how you cook food. I'm not like, ew, microwaves. But I think it's more in my mind, like, what's nutritious for the kid. And so whenever I microwave something now, I'm like, all the nutrients are being sucked out. And so even for myself, I get all like worried, but I'm not going to oven something for 40 minutes. No way, you know? So anyway, this thing, and I was like, this might be a lifesaver. I mean, obviously it's going to cost because it's convenient, you know, but it's like, where's it going to cost more? Medical bills or funeral bills because I'm dead, you know? So yeah, totally.
They're very expensive. But Laurel, who was our guest 2 weeks ago from listening to this, she did that after Cleo because when they got home with Cleo, she's caring for a special needs micro preemie. She also has I think she's 3 now or 4, something that her other daughter 4 maybe. Or 5. No, I don't know.
I think she said the other day she was 3.
Time gets away from me. I don't know. No, they did 3 years of infertility. So she has to be at least 4. She may be 5. Anyways, caring for a small child and her baby with these special needs. And then Mike, her husband, also, like I said in that episode, works in Utah over the weekend, I think. Anyway, so throughout whenever he's gone, she's home alone caring for these.
Oh my gosh. 2.
So she had to get some meal thing that required absolutely no or very, very, very little prep. And so she actually, I think she landed on Freshly, but don't quote me on that. I can go back and check, which is, I think, another one of those that's ready-made meals or whatever. But yeah, for her, she was like, that's a total lifesaver. Especially, it's a lot cheaper than ordering food. Yeah. If you're in the habit of ordering food. That's true.
If we do that enough, I could compare it.
I think that will be different this time around because the first time around, Eden and I would eat out all the time because there were 2 of us and we didn't care. But now we hardly eat out ever with Emmett, and if we do, we go out the two of us and fix him something else. So I think now I understand freezer meals, because we will need stuff handy for him, and we won't be able to go out all the time.
That was totally essential for me too, the freezer meals. Brittany and I did them a couple of times, and I had some other people give me some freezer meals before, and that sustained us quite a bit, not having to do anything but pop it into the oven or whatever.
Okay, guys, if any and all of us are pregnant at the same time again in the future, I recommend we coordinate a freezer meal session.
I was gonna do when are you guys starting to try again? We're starting in August.
I'm starting now. Phil's starting never.
I shouldn't ask you. Those are one of those things you shouldn't
That's okay.
ask.
It's okay. This is a safe space. It's just us three, Phil listening,
and whoever else.
And whoever else, exactly. Yep. I think we have one other person listening. Hi, Bob. So maybe, who knows? But yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I feel like we're close enough that we've crossed that bridge. But yeah, I don't know that I could give you an accurate answer anyway.
All right,
because I'm like last March.
If you want to start trying, the same
Brittany's
time.
Preference is now and also not now. I think that's your opinion.
Yes, because I was actually talking to Phil earlier today, and I was like, whenever I babysit Emmett, I keep thinking to myself, are you ready for this? Do you really want to have 3 kids? And then the logical side of me goes, when you have a child, let's say you're pregnant right now, which I don't know that we are. I'm just saying, if we find out 9 months from now, our children will have already passed their 2nd birthday, and then by the time they're Emmett's age, they'll be 3 and not doing a lot of the things. They'll be able to hopefully be potty trained.
Yeah.
Hopefully, right? And there's a lot of things that will be completely different, right? Instead of triplets. And so, I mean, hopefully we don't have triplets, because then it would be really crazy. But I just feel like I've got to keep reminding myself that it could be really hard. It's true. But like Karen's episode, we asked about how do you continue to have children when you could have any number of medical things happen. And I can't remember what she said exactly, but it was something like, it could happen anyway. If you're going to have, what'd she say? Broccoli doesn't make bum holes. And kale doesn't create intestines and stuff like that. Yeah. And so even though that's super debilitating, paralyzing, it kind of gives me some comfort. If I feel like God is saying, hey, it's okay to start getting into this, then saying, okay, let's have faith, and then just really hope he'll help take care of you after that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think it will be more challenging. I think more kids bring more challenges, but
no kids, no problems.
Yes. But I also think that our firstborns have they have what is it called, plowed the way.
Yeah,
they have. We have been through the basics of babies, right?
Yeah.
So at least we won't be treading through completely new waters. There will be different things about different kids, but I think that's a benefit of the second child, is okay.
Everything isn't terrifying.
Yes.
In the same way. I mean, it's always new, but
projectile vomit, it's okay. I know what to do when they start pooping as I'm changing their diaper. I have this handled. I have dealt with so much poop at this point that I'm unfazed. You know what I mean? That's the good thing. And I do think it'll be harder, but I also think that with each kid we get more experience and we become more boss.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm hoping that our second round of kids works out similarly. That Cody, you'll go, and then roughly 6 months later, Brittany will go, and then I'll be a year behind you guys.
Well, it was reverse. It was reverse for Cody and I, but I mean, she can go first.
She's trying in August, so Brittany, you better get on it if you want it to be the same.
Already on it.
Are you pregnant?
No. I meant trying. I thought that's what she meant. I'm sorry. Okay. But we had this similar conversation. I think maybe somebody, either you said it to Phil or somebody or something like that, and we knew we were pregnant, and I don't remember, but somebody said that, and we were just
I was what did I ask? I said something to Phil.
Because somebody was pregnant, and I can't remember who, and you're you better get on the train. And I can't remember.
Yeah. I was I know you guys aren't you guys trying? And Phil was
He's like, what do I say? Brittany will castrate me if I tell.
I honestly didn't think anything of with the way he responded. But,
that's good. Yeah. He's just weird always. So anyway,
like, this is Phil. No, he's not weird. It's cool though. We're
I felt like that was an enjoyable postpartum. Yeah. So thank you guys so much. And in case you're listening to this postpartum and you didn't hear the episode, make sure to tune in next week to the episode. We're going to have a special Father's Day episode. So we'll look forward to reconvening. After that, we'll see when we schedule to meet again. But thank you guys so much. We'll see you later.